Hey guys, Sayorius here. First off, I just wanted to thank you guys so much for your recent support. We recently just hit 50 subscribers, and just last month, I'm pretty sure I just hit the milestone of 30. So to jump from 30 to 50, that's almost double the amount. And I hope you guys are enjoying my videos because I'm trying to put out my best work, trying to find the things that you guys might find interesting about just shows in general, genres in general, reviews in general. I'm going to be posting every Thursday from now on, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. So again, I wanted to first start this video off by thanking you. Now let's get on to the video. Alright, so this video is actually going to be a really special one. I just did my review for last season of anime, which is fall anime. And by far, that was probably one of the best seasons we've seen so far. And let me just start by saying I am actually very disappointed by the topic of today's video, because today it's the Crunchyroll Anime Awards, at least for the voting period. And for some odd reason, they decided not to include fall anime into its catalog of nominees. I think this is a big mistake. There's a lot of people who are talking about how basically some of the fall anime shows like Chainsaw Man and Mob Psycho would have swept the award ceremony, but since they're not being even shown as a voting option, the award ceremony is going to look very different. And let me just say, I 100% agree. I think that Crunchyroll had made a really big mistake by not including some of the best shows ever produced last season. So in order to remedy this, I suggest that Crunchyroll tries to at least squeeze it on to next year. Although it may be too late, they already kind of messed up. I think that's how you kind of make it right, is by giving them a chance to kind of shine in the awards ceremony. Now, with kind of addressing that controversy out of the way, I want to first get into sort of the main point of, I guess, today's video, which is we're going to talk about my choices. There are a total of 22 categories for this year, and they range from anime of the year to best animation to ending sequence all the way to voice actor, which is kind of been the norm. So I guess the way we're going to start is just by going in order. So the first one is actually best VA for their English performance. Now, unfortunately, I haven't seen any of these shows dubbed. I've only seen them subbed. So I'm just going to vote Dragon Ball Super because they've always been good with their English dub, and I know their English sub isn't the best. And I guess people can't be too mad at me. It's just one vote. So I'm going to vote for Dragon Ball because they have been probably the best. And yeah. So I vote for Dragon Ball. Okay, so the next one is going to be best voice artist performance for Japanese. So Japanese sub. And this is going to be really tough. So this is Anya. So the voice actor for Anya from Spy Family. Which is the voice actor for Jolene Cujo, which I freaked out when she was announced. So she's already a really strong contender for my vote. Tanjiro, of course, his voice actor is great. I mean, Entertainment District Arc was probably one of the best seasons of Demon Slayer. So this is going to be a tough category for sure. I have not seen Licorice Recoil yet, so I will not be voting for it, but that's only because I'm going to abstain with that because I haven't seen the show. I have not seen Made in Abyss as well, so I'm going to abstain from this vote as well. And then Eren Yeager. That's going to be a tough one. So off the bat, I'm just going to eliminate the two here that I have not seen, which is Made in Abyss and Licorice Recoil. Now, for the rest, which are all in the running, it's Anya, the voice actor for Anya, Jolene, Tanjiro, and, of course, Eren Yeager. What am I going to pick? Well, personally, I'm going to have to go with Eren Yeager, just because of his iconic voice. I know it's kind of a cheap thing to go with Attack on Titan because it has been sweeping all these awards, but I truly think that his voice actor really delivers, and it's very memorable. Like, after finishing an episode, the fact that you still remember his voice and, like, the way he announced the rumbling too, it was really from the heart, and it really resonated in you a lot more than a lot of other actors' performances. I think his voice, without his voice being a part of the scene in Attack on Titan, it wouldn't have had the same impact. So I think that's the biggest reason why. Um, so yeah, so I voted Eren Yeager for best VA. Next on our list is actually going to be best romance. And if you know me, I'm a big drama romance kind of guy. I love just harem anime, but what I also love the most is actually a harem anime where they have to pick a winner by the end. And when they choose the right winner, it turns out to be one of the best shows ever made. But in this instance, there's a lot of good shows that actually came out. Although they didn't get to pick a winner, which is unfortunate because that would be an easy winner, at least for my vote. Um, or unfortunately, they don't have a winner. They don't have an end result by the end of these shows, at least at the current moment, which for me would have made it an easy choice to make. They actually made some progress. There were a lot of great developments with some of the relationships within this past year. And just judging by the list, I've seen all of them. I've seen Call of the Night, Komi, Dress Up Darling, Kaguya, Love After World Domination, and Shikimori. I've seen all of them. But what do I think deserves a win in terms of the best romance? Well, I'd be not to choose Love is War because my gosh, that show went from probably one of the, I think it's a good show. It would be like a 7 out of 10, and it immediately jumped to an 8 out of 10. Now, my standards for 9 out of 10 shows are very high. That's the reason why I didn't make the 9 out of 10s. But in terms of just good anime, its final episode for this season in particular made it one of the probably most talked about best experiences I've had with a romance show. And I can't not deny that. I mean, Call of the Night kind of, if I'm gonna be honest, it kind of fell off for me. Shikimori fell off for me hard. Love After World Domination was kind of just fun, but it was kind of forgettable after a certain point. Komi, I wasn't the biggest fan of personally, because I just would watch it and it's more of the episodic type of storytelling that I'm not the biggest fan of unless it's done in a very particular way. Komi kind of just makes it more slice of life, and personally I wasn't the biggest fan of that. And Dress Up Darling is, although it was fun for a little bit, there's nothing to kind of keep me engaged other than fan service and the hint that, oh, are they gonna get together? Well, they are. So I think out of all of them, it definitely should go to Love is War. I think Love is War deserves it just based on, I mean, if you haven't seen it, watch the third season and watch the final episode. You'll know what I'm talking about. It speaks for itself. So yeah, that's best romance. So for best fantasy, this is also going to be a very, very tough one. So you have Demon Slayer Entertainment District Arc, which was really, really good. As much as you want to hate on Demon Slayer saying, oh, it got popular because of its animation and the animation carries, there's a lot of good aspects within Demon Slayer that I think a lot of people discount. Now, is it overrated? Yes. Does it deserve to be overhated? No, it does not. So that's just my thoughts on Demon Slayer. So Demon Slayer Entertainment District Arc, Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation, also very, very strong candidate. Ranking of Kings, I love Ranking of Kings. I think it is very underrated. Definitely check it out if you have the chance. Made in Abyss, I have not seen. Of course, I mentioned that earlier. Overlord 4, I've seen it. I wasn't too thrilled about it compared to earlier seasons, but I thought it was entertaining enough. And the case study of Vanitas, the second core. I'm such a big fan of Vanitas. But yeah, out of sort of all of them, which one am I gonna pick? Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm just gonna eliminate right now Made in Abyss and Overlord. I think, one, I haven't seen Made in Abyss, and two, Overlord has nothing on these shows. I think it actually went down in quality compared to the last 3 seasons, so the fact that it went down and just shows that it's not going to compete with these other 4 great shows. Now, out of the four that are left, Demon Slayer, Jobless Reincarnation, Ranking of Kings, and Case Study of Vanitas, I have to go with the Case Study of Vanitas. I think no one talks about the show enough. It is very, very, very professional and very, very clean and neat with its animation, storytelling, and I guess music is the best way, because it's very much derived off classical music. And I think a lot of people need to check out this show a lot more because, to be honest, I think the Case Study of Vanitas, it gets this bad look because it's very different. You think it's going to be just this generic average romance show, but it's actually more than that. It has great action, great stories, and animation that just blows you away. And I think the world within itself is one of the best parts. It takes place in France, with vampires and demons and ghosts and this other dimension as well. And also kind of have that sci-fi steampunk element to it as well that I absolutely love. So to me, the Case of Vanitas second court, which is even better than the first by a mile, and the first one was already really good, just takes it for me. It's a no-brainer. Best drama. As you know, I'm a big drama guy, and to be fair, there are a lot of good shows, and oh, I think this one's probably gonna be one of the toughest categories because, for one at least, here's the thing. For best drama, there is the 86 Part 2, which I'm going to be fair, I have not seen yet, so that's probably not going to be my pick. There's Cyberpunk Edgerunners, very, very strong contender. I absolutely love Cyberpunk Edgerunners. I've downloaded all the songs after watching the show, and it makes me sad every time I listen to it. So this is probably going to be one of the picks that's going to be really high up on my list. Kotaro Lives Alone. I watched this on Netflix thinking it was going to be a very fun show, very enjoyable show, but it ended up kind of breaking me. It's a very sad show. So unless you really want, or not, never mind. Next we have Attack on Titan, Part 2, which I've seen. Dance Dance Dancer, I have not seen that. And Made in Abyss, again, I have not seen that. So out of the four, or actually, I've only seen Part 1 of the 86. And I put it on hold, but at least for now, I'm going to have to say that I haven't seen it, just for the sake of this voting. But in regards to the other two shows, yeah, so on my list, I'm just going to say it. It's down between probably Cyberpunk Edgerunners and Kotaro Lives Alone for best drama. So, oh, this is so tough. See, so Cyberpunk Edgerunners was great because it made me really sad by the end, and the animation, it's Trigger. I mean, when you have animation and Trigger in the same sense, you know you're gonna get something good. And you also have Kotaro Lives Alone, which is this heartwarming story that hits you, it gut punches you every single time you watch it. I'm gonna have to go, unfortunately, with Kotaro Lives Alone, just because it's more realistic and it cuts deeper because of that, and it's more grounded than, say, Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Because as much as Cyberpunk Edgerunner has those dramatic moments which are really, really strong, and that romance, Kotaro Lives Alone, you watch it and it feels like a drama. Like, it feels like all these intense emotions around really hurt you on a deeper, deeper level than Cyberpunk Edgerunner does, even though it's by a slim margin, because both shows are really good and you should definitely check out both shows, which are both on Netflix too, which is really fun. But yeah, my vote is going to be Kotaro Lives Alone. Best comedy. Now, there is Kaguya, Love is War. There is My Dress Up Darling. There's Uncle from Another World. There's Kotaro Lives Alone, Spy X Family, and Ya Boy Kong Ming, which out of all of them, I have not seen Ya Boy Kong Ming, which from a friend I actually was told it was really good, so take that for what you will. But out of these 5 shows, in terms of best comedy, I can't give it to Kotaro Lives Alone because I already gave it for best drama, and although they do have it does have funny moments, I don't think it deserves best comedy. My Dress Up Darling is also eliminated. It's not funny; it's more of ecchi funny, which although it is, I find it entertaining. It's not my favorite brand of comedy. So for me, it's down to Kaguya Love is War, and Uncle from Another World. And if you watch my video, which you should probably check out, it's on my channel. I talk about sort of the best of fall anime, and Uncle from Another World is on there, but that's only because it got delayed. So actually, this was released, I think, a couple seasons ago, but because the show got delayed because of a virus of unknown origin, um, it got pushed back to, of course, fall anime. And funny enough, the last episode is still delayed. It still hasn't come out yet, which, yay. But aside from that, I think this show probably got saved because of it, because now it's in this award ceremony and compared to a lot of the fall anime. So for best comedy, I have to give it to Uncle from Another World. It is so freaking funny. It's an isekai, and the way they do the comedy is my brand of comedy. The way they do the animation and like the visual gags, I'm a big fan of. So it's a no-brainer for me. It's Uncle from Another World. I think one, it's a really great production. It got kind of shafted by sort of the changes and of course the virus of unknown origin. Um, and I think it deserves more love than it is getting, because it's kind of been kind of under the radar for a lot of people. But yeah, best comedy has to be by far Uncle from Another World. Next is best action. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be so tough. So we have Attack on Titan Final Season Part 2. We have Demon Slayer The Entertainment District arc. We have Licorice Recoil, which I haven't seen, so sorry. We have Cyberpunk Edge Runners, and we have JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Stone Ocean, and Spy X Family. Or Spy Family. Dang, I said it wrong. So, in terms of best action, I would have to say, off the bat, Licorice Recoil and Spy Family are unfortunately going to have to be removed from the list of options for me personally. So it's down to Attack on Titan, Cyberpunk, Demon Slayer, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I have not finished JoJo's Bizarre Adventures yet. For Stone Ocean, I've only finished the manga, so I am unfortunately going to have to remove that too because I haven't made it, so I'm not qualified to say if it's better or worse. So it's down to 3, and out of the 3, I think probably the best one we have, I have to give it to Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer, the last 5 episodes of that arc were so good. They killed the animation. The action sequences went insane with the different sword styles to the blood art formations, and just the entire time you thought the arc was going to end, it just picked up with more action and better action. And I thought they weren't going to top the spider arc in the forest in season 1, but they somehow did it, and they even somehow beat the movie too, which is crazy to think about. Is the television anime can somehow produce better animation than the movie they put out, which was the Mugen Train. But they somehow did, and I think it should be commended for that, because this arc was terrific, and I love Tengen. Tengen is amazing. So yeah, that's going to go for my list for at least best action. Now, must protect at all cost character. Ooh. Let's see. So we have Anya Forger, we have Kage, which, oh yeah, Kage, the kind of monster that he kind of befriends. Marin from Dress Up Darling, we have Boji, we have Kotaro, and we have Shoko. Shoko Komi. This one's also a really tough one because I've seen all of them. I hate it when the thing comes close, because then you have to pick one over the other, and I hate choosing, but we have to do that because it's the Anime Awards. I have to say, probably out of all of these, I have to say Pochi. I think Pochi deserves it because of how much he has to go through, how much struggle he's been through, and I think everyone has that kind of support system, and I think they'd be fine without sort of having another person guarding them. But I would say Boji would definitely need more support because he's just precious. He's probably one of my favorite characters from Ranking of Kings, and the fact that he has all these struggles and he's able to overcome them through just sheer force. I really commend the animators for that. So good job, Boji. You win best person I would want to protect. All right, so best supporting character. Okay, so we have Ai from Love is War. We have Kage from Ranking of Kings. We have Tengen, Anya, Rebecca from Cyberpunk, and Yor. So, this is... I'm not going to say... this is going to be a tough one. I'm going to have to give it to Tengen, because Tengen goes through so much during the Entertainment District arc. He has so many insane moments, from him just introducing his 3 wives, which throws off the other Demon Slayers, but also the fact that he has this traumatic past and he has to overcome all these physical obstacles, and he's able to do so even though you'll see what happens if you watch the Entertainment District arc, but he gets very injured and he somehow still fights. And I think just for that, I think he deserves the spot for best supporting character, because without him, the story would be drastically different and the heroes would lose. So Tengen, good job. You won this one. All right, so next we're going to be on to best main character. So we have Bochi from Ranking of Kings. We have David Martinez from Cyberpunk Edgerunners. We have Lloyd Forger. We have Chisato from Licorice Recoil. I haven't seen that. Aaron Yeager and Marin Kitagawa. I'm going to have to go with David Martinez on this one. I think his character is so incredibly impactful, or has such an incredible impact on viewers, just in terms of his upbringing, what he has to deal with, sort of his life, and what he aspires to be slash ends up going. And it's only through sort of him that I think I would have, without him, I think the story would have been drastically different. I wouldn't, sorry, my dog's barking. I wouldn't have been as, I wouldn't have been as invested in the story if it wasn't for him. Wouldn't have been as invested in the story if it wasn't for him. And so I think he deserves the spot for best main character. Out of all these choices, of course. So yeah, that's where my vote's going for. Okay, so next we have best director. So we have the director for Demon Slayer, Spy Family, Ranking of Kings, Trigger. Sorry. So we have the directors for Demon Slayer, Spy Family. So we have the directors for Demon Slayer, Spy Family, Ranking of Kings, Cyberpunk Edgerunners, Licorice Recoil, and Attack on Titan. Now I need to watch Licorice Recoil because it's winning all these awards or being nominated for them. So I have to check out that show. But out of all of them, I have to give it to... I have to give it to... and I'm blanking. It's tough. Ugh. I have to give it to Demon Slayer, unfortunately. Not unfortunately, it deserves it. Sorry. I have to give it to Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer has done so much in terms of the direction it's been going, and I've been there. I think it was 4 episodes that were out, so I was there before the boom in terms of the popularity growing when Ninja started talking about Demon Slayer, and then that increased it even more. Then the movie came out, and now it's like one of the biggest, like I think franchises in the world. But I think Demon Slayer definitely deserves it just because of the animation. They somehow beat their own expectations, or not. They somehow beat the bar they set with the movie, and I thought that wasn't even possible. Um, Aside from like the one gripe I had with CG, I guess they learned their lesson from that and decided to go crazy with this arc. So in terms of just what they were able to accomplish, I have to give it. I have to give it to Demon Slayer. They deserve it, honestly. Um, but yeah, so that's best director. So good job, Haruho. I'm gonna say this wrong so many times. Haruo Sotuzaki. He's the director. So great job. You did amazing. It was probably one of the best shows I've seen. So let's see. So next we have best anime song. So we have Kongming, ya boy Kongming. So that's the first one. We have my nonfiction from Love Is War, The Rumbling from Mappa, Comedy from Spy Family, and we have Shall We Dance from, what is this? Shadows House Season 2, second season. Huh. I think I've seen maybe one or two images from this show, but aside from that, I didn't even know the show existed. Or New Genesis from One Piece. Oh my goodness. So, off the bat, it's between The Rumbling and New Genesis. I'm just going to say that, which is One Piece versus Attack on Titan. Now, unfortunately, since One Piece did not choose to elect Top Musica for the best anime song, and so they went with New Genesis, it's going to go with The Rumbling. I also have so many great experiences with The Rumbling. I've been in Discord calls with friends where we just play The Rumbling over and over and over and over again to the point where we get sick of it, but we still listen to it just for the meme. I probably have countless hours just on The Rumbling just because it's so funny to listen to it and bang too. So I'm going to have to give it to The Rumbling. It's also, memes aside, it's also a great song. So, yeah. All right, so best film. So, sorry. All right, so now we're on to best film, and we have Bubble. I've seen that actually. Unho. One Piece Film Red. We have Dragon Ball Super Superhero. We have Jujutsu Kaisen Zero and The Deer King. Now, for me at least, I've seen only 3 of these, which is Bubble, One Piece Film Red, and Jujutsu Kaisen Zero. Jujutsu Kaisen Zero, to me, it wasn't as great as the show because, of course, it was the prequel before. And so for me, it's going to be eliminated just off the bat because it doesn't compete with the other 2 movies. So now it's down to Bubble and One Piece Film Red. Um, Unfortunately, as much as I am a big fan of One Piece Film Red, I'm going to have to give it to Bubble. I think Bubble is a show that came out on Netflix, so not many people are going to be talking about it. But in terms of the animation quality, in terms of the story, how they have conversations through animation, through silence, through music, um, I haven't really seen that many shows do that. I haven't seen that many shows do that. It's mostly reserved to anime films because they're seen as more high caliber, high quality observation slash atmosphere um, that only films can really create within its time span. So I'm gonna have to give it to Bubble, even though I love One Piece Film Red. Bubble is just a great movie. All right, so next we're on to best score. Um, so we have Spy Family. We have your boy Kongming. Your boy Kongming has also been winning all these awards. That's really weird. I have to definitely check that out too. We have Kevin Penkin, which is Made in Abyss. We have Akira Yamako from Cyberpunk. We have the soundtrack for Attack on Titan. I'm gonna redo all that. Sorry. So we for scores we have Spy Family, we have Ya Boy Kong Ming, Made in Abyss, Cyberpunk, Attack on Titan, and Demon Slayer. Now, out of all of these, I have to go with my gut feeling, which I'm gonna have to go with um probably one of the most iconic songs that I have listened to recently and heavily, which is going to have to be Cyberpunk Edge Runners. I think their score was amazing, extremely well done, and every time the music started, when the action was becoming more fast paced, more exciting, um, I was thrilled, and the music definitely helped me carry that feeling. So Cyberpunk, great job, Akira Yamako, or Yamaka. I'm saying this wrong. Whatever. I'm just going to say Akira, great job with your music. That was incredible work. Um, but yeah, so best ending sequence. Okay, so this is going to be slightly difficult because we have Attack on Titan, Dress Up Darling, Love is War, Season 3. We have Spy Family, Second Core's opening. We have Comey Can't Communicate and Call the Night. Ooh, this is interesting. Um, so just off the bat, I think all of these are very strong contenders. Um, but the unfortunate part is I only listen to an ending when it's really, really good. And so out of all of these, I have to go with, unfortunately, or not unfortunately. So when it comes to all of these, I have to go with the one that when the episode ended, I kept watching, which was Spy Family. I think comedy is a great ending sequence, and I think just watching it over and over again really reminds me of how fun the show is, and not many endings get to do that. And to me, this one is the one that stuck out to me the most personally. So good job. I think comedy is probably the best thing, or the best ending sequence out of all these shows. So yeah. All right, so now we're on to best opening sequence, and we have your boy Kong Ming. We have Ranking of Kings. We have Cyberpunk Edge Runners. We have Spy Family. We have Attack on Titan and Demon Slayer. And all of these I have seen, and all of these hurt because, or actually I haven't seen. Sorry, your boy Kong Ming, but the rest of these I've pretty much seen all of these, and it's gonna be a tough one because you have this fire, which is really, really, really strong. But then you also have Demon Slayer, Demon Slayer's opening, which came out I think around the time of New Year's, which was really funny because you had all the fireworks going off, so it was very much in the season of that. And then you have the rumbling too. Oh, that's so tough. In terms of an opening though, I'm going to have to give it to this fire. I think the way Cyberpunk Edge Runners tells its story through the music is just incredible. Um, I think. Actually, no. This is tough. All right, so for this one, I'm gonna have to give it to Demon Slayer, the Entertainment District arc. I think they killed it with the opening. If you wanted a step up from last season, you definitely got it here. So Demon Slayer won. That's it. That's my final pick. Hate me if you want. Say I'm selling out for Demon Slayer, but you have to admit, Entertainment District arc was so good this season. I think it deserves it. All right. Next, we're on to best continuing series. So, these results are really funny. So, we have Attack on Titan, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Made in Abyss, Demon Slayer, and Love is War, all thinking they can compete with One Piece. They're not going to win. One Piece is the GOAT, especially this last season. You had Roof Piece. I mean, just Roof Piece alone bodies all of these shows. I'm sorry, One Piece has it. This is a ridiculous category. You knew this is basically the One Piece category. One Piece basically won, and there's no competition. There's no competition. If you vote otherwise, you either haven't seen One Piece or you're lying to yourself. That's it. Now, this is more fair because you're not competing against One Piece. So let's see. Call of the Night, Licorice Recoil, Spy Family, Cyberpunk Edgerunners, My Dress Up Darling, and Your Boy Kong Ming. For the best new series, I have to give it to Cyberpunk Edgerunners. I already made my reasons why I love the show so much. I think it deserves it. At least for the new series. But yeah, next, I'm just gonna blast through these. Okay, so we have now best animation, and we have Akiba's Sailor Uniform, which this is actually the first time this show's been mentioned. I haven't seen it though. We have Cyberpunk Edgerunners. We have Ranking of Kings Second Core. We have Attack on Titan Final Season Part 2. We have Demon Slayer, the Entertainment District arc, and we have Spy Family. In terms of best animation, I'm sorry, but if you say that Demon Slayer gets carried by the animation, well, it's clearly going to be the best one, if you know what I mean. But yeah, sorry, Demon Slayer won. Alright, so next we have best character design, and this one's interesting. For this one, I'm actually going to give this one to, which is, okay, so I'm just going to list them off real quickly. Demon Slayer, Spy Family, JoJo, Ranking of Kings, My Dress Up Darling, and Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Out of all of those, I think the best design-wise is going to have to be JoJo. When it comes to designs, you can't beat JoJo. JoJo has a very distinctive style. No one can replicate it. If you watch like a show that mimics the same animation style, it's usually to parody a JoJo. So yeah, JoJo is very iconic, very distinctive art style, and it really sets itself apart from every other show in the medium because of that. And you can just look at just an image and know it's JoJo just based on its art style. So yep, JoJo wins this one. All right, last two. So I'm going to do best original anime, and then we're going to get to anime of the year. So for the best original anime, let's see what we have here. We have Birdie Wing, Golf Girl Story. I actually heard that was actually pretty good from a friend. So who knew that girls playing golf in an anime format was entertaining? But it is. Licorice Recoil, Vampire in the Garden, have not seen. Healer Girl, The Orbital Children, and Yurei Deco. Now, I haven't seen any of these. So I'm going to do what I do best and simply ignore it. Just simply because I haven't seen it, and I don't think it's fair for me, if I haven't seen any of the shows, to pick one over the other. So if you have the chance, please check out all these shows. Alright, so last but not least, we have Anime of the Year. And we have Attack on Titan, Final Season, Part 2 of 30. We have Demon Slayer, Entertainment District Arc. We have Ranking of Kings, Second Core. We have Cyberpunk Edgerunners. We have Licorice Recoil. And we have Spy Family. Now, these are all really strong contenders. It's going to be very difficult to pick a winner because all of them are very strong in very particular areas. And I think they each have their own strengths, and that's what makes it, I think, the hardest. So it's based on personal opinion that I think is going to win at the end of the day. And I've been feeling bad for Spy Family because I haven't voted for Spy Family at all during this whole thing. So, of course, for me, I'm personally going to pick Cyberpunk Edgerunners because I don't want Spy Family to win a single award, because so far it hasn't done anything to deserve it, and I think it should do a lot better. And I know it will, because according to my friends, the manga definitely picks up and it gets a lot more interesting. So I think Cyberpunk Edgerunners definitely deserves this award, out of all of them, just because it came out of nowhere, blew everyone away, iconic songs galore, and compared to all these shows, I think this one really sticks out in my opinion because it takes what wasn't popular, which was Cyberpunk. It was very much hated upon because of all the glitches and problems it had at launch, and it revolutionized the game to the point where when they started adding all these patches, it got people to start playing the game again. And so I think this show does a terrific job at introducing the cyberpunk world. It does a terrific job at telling a great story. It does a great job at just turning it on, having a great time, and once you're finished, it leaves you with sort of this big message and also a very broken heart. So, good job. Anime of the year is Cyberpunk Edgerunners. So again, here's sort of the list I chose. So Cyberpunk was Anime of the year. Best original anime, I picked none of them. Best character design, I said it was JoJo, of course. Best animation, I had to go with Demon Slayer. Best new series, Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Best continuing series, One Piece the GOAT. Best opening sequence, of course, Demon Slayer. Best ending sequence, Spy Family. Oh wait, I did pick Spy Family for an award. So Spy Family at least won one. So never mind. Huh, that's very funny. Best score, I said Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Best film, I said Bubble. Best anime song, I said The Rumbling. Best director, Demon Slayer. Best main character, I think it was David Martinez from Cyberpunk. Best supporting character, I said it was Tengen Uze from Demon Slayer. I said Bochi is the protect character at all costs. Best action, I said it was Demon Slayer as well. Best comedy, Uncle from Another World. It really should have won Best Anime of the Year if they put it on there, but unfortunately they did not because a lot of people don't know about the show. Best drama has to go with Kotaro Lives Alone. Best fantasy has to go with the case study Vanitas, Second Core, which it said I didn't vote for it, so there, I voted for it. Best romance is Kaguya Love is War. Best VA is, of course, Eren Yeager. And for English, I said Dragon Ball because I know their dubbed is pretty good. And that concludes my choices for the Anime Awards. So what did you think about my picks? Do you think that I made the correct decisions or did I make the wrong ones? Please let me know in the comments below. Please hit that subscribe button and hit the like button if you enjoyed today's video. My name is Sayorius and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.